I'm from New Zealand, obviously. I'm based in Wellington, and I currently do a number of things in my work. So I'm a director of a company called CNZN Limited, which offers training and consultancy to social service agencies. And I also currently work for 2 days a week as a National Social Work Practice Advisor for an organisation called Stand for Children Services, which is a nationwide organisation that works with 5 to 12-year-olds. And I'm doing a little bit of doctoral study on the side. The Three Houses is an information gathering tool, and it's a tool that was created in the context of child protection. And it's a tool that was kind of built by social workers for social workers, and the idea was really to make sure that the voice of children and young people was evident in our assessments and in our plans, and that also includes the voice of our parents and our carers. So it's a tool that's really designed to help with engagement and rapport and allow people to tell us their stories, and for us to get a better understanding of what's happening for them in their world and how we can make sure that that voice is evident in what we're doing. I think what it does is that, as I said, it enables their voice to be heard. And one of the challenges that we particularly had within child protection was there was a noticing that our plans and our assessments didn't really have that in there. And I think what it offers is the kind of taking the time, using a visual tool that's kind of narrative and focused, that explores, what they think is working well, what are the strengths, what are the good things, what are their worries, what are their vulnerabilities, what are their challenges, and then what are their hopes and dreams, where do they want to go, where do they want to be, what are the changes that they'd like to see happen in relation to particularly what they're worried about. So it gives us a chance to hear their story, hear their priorities, and also an idea of resources and where they want to go. So I'm hopeful that it's a tool that's inclusive and collaborative. What I'm really interested in people understanding is the principles and the thinking of where the tool comes from, almost kind of like the foundation, that because it draws from a number of theories, and particularly some Indigenous thinking from New Zealand, from Aotearoa, and I really hope that people come away with that understanding, because I think if that's there, then the tool will not do harm, will be a positive, engagement and interaction. So that's one thing I'm really hopeful that they'll come away with. And the other thing I'm really hopeful that they'll come away with is some ideas of creativity around how they could use the tool, and also how it can inform the plans that we come up with families. So yeah, and also maybe think maybe I could create something and build something, and because as I said, this was a tool created by social work, trialled by social work, and I think social workers in particular and social service workers are very creative and innovative, and sometimes we need to give ourselves permission just to try something and do something and see where it goes. I think the feedback that I've had is it seems to connect people to a degree of spirituality in our work, and I think that's because of where it comes from and the thinking that informs it. And so I've had people, I think, relate to that, and I think feel relatively energised about trying something that is actually, that doesn't do harm. I've not had any incidents of it, hearing that it's done any harm, but allows them another way of engaging and learning about people's worlds, and people going away and feeling excited. I remember one workshop that we did, and we had the tool as a part of that workshop, and a guy came back the next day and he said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I took it home and I did it at the table with my two boys. I was just really interested to see see how they'd find it." And he said, "I learnt some things about them and about them at school that I had no idea." And so that was really cool. It was very inspiring that someone just took it home that night and gave it a go, and another incident of a worker who was doing a home visit on the way home from a training, and they stopped and used the tool with that particular child, and just that was probably the speediest I've ever heard, you know, from training to the home visit to doing the tool. So, you know, that's exciting, and that's what I hope people feel confident that they can walk away and use it. And certainly I think the Australians seem to have really done that, really given it a go.
The Three Houses model covered in today's training I would describe as a very simple visual tool for gathering information, but a tool that allows for quite in-depth discussion with children, allowing to open up those lines of communication.
I describe the Three Houses model as being a conversational tool to use with children and families around gathering their story. I think it helps to externalise their story, to bring it out into the open, and to be able to really reflect on things that have happened, things that are worrying them, and what dreams they have for the future.
The Three Houses training focuses as well on the wellbeing of the child after, which incorporates looking at the mindset of the parents and the caregivers and building them up, because a lot of them otherwise we help the kid and then we put them back in the same unstable environment, so it's very well.
What I've learnt today about the Three Houses model will be extremely useful in my work. I'm quite excited to get out there and start using it. I think that this tool is, in a non-threatening way, going to be able to give children a voice in the family, and not only a voice, but it's going to be on paper in either words or drawings what it is that their experience in their family unit is, and I think that that's going to be a very powerful and useful tool in our work with families.
Very useful. But has emphasised on some of the things I've had discussions with my boss before, to be child focused, that we must really focus on the structures around them.
I think it's useful for the workers to be able to then reflect on the things that they've been talking about with families. So it's two-sided, and even for me it's around a supervision tool where I can use it for helping caseworkers to unpack maybe difficult situations or issues that have arisen and they're not sure what to do with.
By using this new approach, I think I'm going to be able to offer the families hopefully positive change, which would be the key thing that I would be looking for. I would hope that this would open up perhaps some honest communication in the family that might not have been there before.
I think the tool will offer families a very practical way of working in partnership and participating in the work that the caseworkers are doing. I think it also allows families and children to lead the process. So the worker is walking beside them rather than in front of them or trying to catch up from behind. They actually have to do this together, which I find is very empowering, but also really supportive of the work that caseworkers are doing.
What I feel I'll be able to offer to families is probably a greater knowledge of how I can help them, and also be able to demonstrate, be able to get them to, especially the kids, to articulate through drawings and through pictures on their emotions when they're not actually able to talk. Because some parents, they can dismiss what their kids have said, but they can't dismiss what the drawings before them.